Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to an all-new reaction and review. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I am once more diving into a rather dark and disgusting corner of cinema that I don't like to go to. It is a corner that is nasty and oftentimes sticky. Oh, that joke was bad. Yeah, folks, tonight I'm doing another porno flick. This time, though, I have been told that it's a soft-core porn film. I'm not sure if that's going to lessen the blow any. But then I saw the title. The title of tonight's film. There actually are two titles I'm going to explain. But the title I'm going with is Abducted by the Daleks. Those of you who are science fiction nerds and you're seeing that title, you probably know exactly what the Daleks are. Those of you who don't know, I'm going to fill you in. The Daleks are a race of robotic creatures. At least I believe that they are robotic. I'm not sure if there's anything inside them that could be called, organic. They are about 5 or 6 feet tall. They look like giant, carpet, carpet, scrubbers. And they're from Doctor Who. Yeah. This is a softcore porn based on villains featured in Doctor Who. And I just cannot wrap my head around the fact that it's Dalek porn. My brain just will not accept that. Now, I mentioned that this thing has two titles. What happened was, shortly after this film was released on video back in 2005, the BBC stepped in and they put a stop to it being released. So, the studio, being clever and probably also being a little bit of a jackass, decided to re-release the film unaltered. The only thing they did was they changed the title on the video case. They were now calling it Abducted by the Daleks. Even though when you popped in the tape or you popped in the DVD, it still said Abducted by the Daleks when you fired it up. So the BBC also has pulled most of those. So this film apparently is a little bit difficult to find. At least that's what I was told, but it only took me about 5 minutes to actually find a torrent of it. So, I get to check it out. I would like to mention before this thing even starts that this is the second shortest film I have ever covered. The shortest one I ever did was Cosplayers the Movie, which clocks in at 44 minutes. That was also the second longest episode I ever had. It came in like 17 minutes long. This thing is 55 minutes long, and I have no idea if I'm going to make it through the entire hour of this. However, though, the plus side is that it's only about an hour long. I'm not going to suffer too much. So, folks, without further ado, it's time to sit back, relax, and check out Abducted by the Daleks. Wait a minute. This music is not from Doctor Who. This music is from Godzilla. I am almost afraid of exactly what the hell this thing's gonna offer when they can't even find music from the franchise they're spoofing. I'm really afraid, guys. Did they just hit a gray alien? At what point do gray aliens work into this shit? I could have sworn it was the... No. I'm not even gonna ask. Not even going to question what sense that makes. I'm just gonna see if it goes anywhere. Folks, I actually would just like to mention this right now. I actually am looking at the outfits which these four women are wearing. I've seen hookers who wear more shit when they are working a street corner. I just sort of thought I would mention that. Okay, folks, I actually would like to say this much right now. These fucking Daleks actually look really decent. The only thing is that they sound awful, and it shouldn't be that difficult to try to sound like a fucking Dalek. I'm not even gonna ask what the fuck I just saw. Whoa, 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 wait a minute. They actually have to warn us that the next scene has strobing effects? Okay, that's different. It's probably going to really suck, but at least it's different. So the Daleks picked up the fourth woman and somehow brainwashed her into interrogating the other three so that way they can get some kind of information which the Daleks are looking for. I believe this is why most porn films don't have fucking plots, because they run the risk of being this idiotic and stupid. So this was the strobe effect which they had to warn us about. Well, I guess you have to warn people about this shit because it can cause seizures, but now we just have a black screen. So that whole warning, the warning was on screen for about 20 seconds. It was up for about 20 seconds worth of strobe effect. And yet, oh, there we go. Now it's strobing again. Oh boy. Okay, I'm just going to assume that they weren't able to get the actress from earlier, so they had to cook up a bullshit story to get a new actress in for the last 20 minutes. So she was molecularly altered when she returned to Earth. I guess that makes sense if you really insist on making something a lot like this, so just god damn, dude. So the serial fucking Skinner who skins women in the woods is voiced by Microsoft Sam. Why not? Nothing else this stupid thing has made any fucking sense yet. So, that's it, folks. That is Abducted by the Daleks. I'm just going to look at the credits for a moment, because I want to know if this thing actually had a fucking writer credited. What do you know? Screenplay and story credits. Fuck off. Okay, folks. Dear God. I'm going to say this right now. I cannot really review this thing the way I review most other films, because similar to Boku no Pico and Let My Puppets Come, I'm working with a porno film here, and I really have to give it a little bit of slack, because you're not supposed to expect a ton from what is essentially a softcore porno flick. However, I am going to cover all of the bases. First of all, I stated earlier that the fucking Daleks looked really good. They actually looked as if they came directly off the set of Doctor Who. However, though, seeing as how Doctor Who has been notorious with being really ghetto cheap with props and fucking, effects and everything else, that honestly is not a huge challenge. And that also is why I can't really gripe on the sets and the fucking effects and everything else too much, because not only is it a porn film, but it's also a spoof on Doctor Who. And if you were to do like a Doctor Who spoof and you had like a massive budget and you had actually good, effects, then it would kind of be a detriment to it being a Doctor Who spoof. So honestly, I can't even go into the fact that the sets are horrible and that the fucking effects are laughably bad, because we are talking about something here which is trying to spoof or parody Doctor Who, who which was known for having shitty sets and horrible effects. So I can't even touch on those. The acting is the worst acting I've seen in anything resembling a porn film. But then again, I've only seen like a handful of porno films, so I really don't have a deep, vast knowledge on porn acting. I'm going to say this much, though, and this, I'm not entirely certain if this is something with the movie or just something with the copy I had. The audio and the video are not totally synced up. In fact, the video seems to be coming in about a half. It seems to be coming in about a half second after the audio, and that could easily be because everything had to be looped in post, which I don't think is the case, because I swear to God I saw a boom mic handle in at least 3 shots. Mind you, I didn't see the boom mic, I saw the handle of the boom mic, which I never thought I'd see in a fucking film. I actually am used to seeing films that actually have the boom mic showing up. The boom mic is that little mic that they hang above, and you might see a little bit of it like coming out of the top of your screen. But not the handle like jutting out at a slant right about here. You actually can see this big like blue stick that's just coming in at a slant, and every single time that they would go back to that angle, it's sitting there. You can see flash bulbs going off, apparently because they were trying to take shots for the VHS cover, the DVD cover, whatever the hell, and you can see that. You can hear people shuffling around in the fucking background. It's like this thing. There was absolutely no frickin' attempt at making it a quality film. It basically was just 55 minutes of women running around nude and the Daleks just wheeling around and being Daleks. Literally, like, that's it. And within the last, 20 minutes, they basically attempt to shoehorn in a subplot involving the Daleks collecting humans for some sort of an intergalactic slave fucking trade, and that the woman who got off the ship was working for them was from the planet Eros, and her sole job on Earth was to find women who could be sent up to the Dalek ship so that way they could be interrogated and inseminated and then sold into the intergalactic slave trade. And she blurts out all of this to a hunter who apparently is there to hunt for a serial skinner who was mentioned at the start of the film. Both the hunter and the serial skinner are wearing really ugly rubber masks, even though they're supposed to be humans, so you would almost assume that they wouldn't need the masks. We have two cops at the very end who just like everybody else in the film cannot act. And I happen to remember earlier I mentioned that this whole thing started when the 4 women in their car hit a fucking gray alien. That's the only time you ever see this fucking gray alien. It plays no factor in anywhere, and the only evidence that it was ever even there is that there's green blood on the fucking hood of the car. Seriously, guys, if you feel the need to watch this, and you can probably find a BitTorrent of it real easy, underneath either of its titles, underneath either Abducted by the Daleks or Abducted by the Daloids, you can easily find it. If you seriously want to suffer through 55 minutes of absolutely mind-numbing bullshit, go right ahead. However, if you honestly are looking for something which is going to do what a porno is supposed to do, and that is turn you on, this thing is not the thing to watch. This is just a nightmare. It is. This thing is just complete and total shit, and I could not in any good conscience recommend it to anybody for any reason outside of just morbid curiosity. Now I need to delete this movie off of my hard drive because I just feel dirty having it there. So folks, wow. I really have to stop stumbling into porno films, because so far I have yet to find a good one. So folks, with that, we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.